Hey guys, so on the recent Bethesda stream on Twitch, they announced for Elsewhere that Imperial City was going to see some changes. Notably, it sounds like they're going to be placing it in a single campaign, which, if it goes according to how I think it's going to go, most likely we'll see a lot more traffic down there, which is great news for PvP, but for those of us who just want to get a few achievements in peace, it's not necessarily the greatest news. So I thought I would come out with a video to show you how I recently got my achievement so that you can get that before the changes hopefully go live. This video is mostly going to cover how I farmed the Scamp achievements and the spawns that I used here in the EP sewers. Keep in mind that this is a solo farm and it is best to be EP for this farm just because you are closer to base and the spawn points for the Scamps. While I was farming, I also did a route of farming Telvar so that I could make some money and hopefully stave off some boredom. So I will show you the farming route that I take while I'm waiting for Scamps to spawn. A few general rules for Scamp spawns here in this area of the sewers. There are 2 Scamp spawns and they take about 14 minutes between the spawns. Once you locate the first spawn, it's 14 minutes to the next spawn, and as I said, they alternate. Generally, the hardest part about farming these is finding the first spawn, but once you do, you can generally be sure where the next one will spawn. Here I'm showing you the first Scamp spawn, the one that I call the room, just for myself so I know which one I'm going to. It will spawn right in the corner where we're facing. Generally I'll lay down my AoEs before I know it's spawning, just so that I can get as much damage on it as possible. In this case I'm just going to show you the route it takes. Usually it'll stop here, sometimes it will channel and a bright white light will come up and it'll be making a portal to escape. If that happens, make sure you bash it to interrupt. And that's the last portal there. So make sure that you kill it between that time. As you saw, it was super fast. You don't have much time to kill the Scamps, so make sure that you're pouring out as much damage as you possibly can so that you can kill it before it disappears. In this video I'm not going to go over the banner bosses too much. I'm just showing you a farm route, so it's not really important to the video, but if you guys are interested, I can do more videos later going over the different banners and how to kill them solo. They do offer quite a lot of Telvar. For the sakes of this video, it takes about, between the 15-minute farm runs, I'm making about 10k to 12k Telvar per run, so for those numbers you do have to be able to solo the banners, but it's not necessary. You can totally make enough profit simply avoiding the bigger bosses and picking up any chests that you find, trap chests, clearing out the mobs, and waiting for the Scamps. The Scamps also drop things like Kakejo, which is worth about 5k Telvar. You can get kudas from them, raporas, other crafting materials. You can also get corn and beets, that kind of thing, so they're worth checking out if you are looking to farm the sewers but can't quite handle the banners or bosses yet. For this boss coming up, he's a giant dragon. He does a wind-up breath that you'll see, and if you're not blocking when the flame AoE spawns on your foot, it can knock you back, and in the wrong circumstances, such as when he has a flame AoE around him, it can kill you, so be very mindful of his mechanics. He also has ads that spawn. The ads aren't too bothersome. They do cause a channel and the boss will move, but pretty simple to get rid of. So for this flame AoE, if you're a vampire, you have to be quite careful. Hopefully you have a lot of self-healing to get through that, otherwise you might need to kite around the room. Here I'm just cutting out the banner because it's a long fight for me and not really pertinent to the farm route, so just ignore that. So once I'm done the Telvar, whatever his name is, dragon boss guy, I will come back through this pathway here, back to where we were before. We've already cleared out this area. Now if you have a lot of time, you can go straight through here. That is another option to farm. Down in the bottom there are some more mobs, and as you'll see on the map here, there is a trap chest that spawns as well as a regular chest. I think the regular chest spawns in a few areas, but I don't come up here too often myself because I can't solo the banners that fast. So that is an option. If you're quite fast or high DPS in the sewers, you can go up there and get some extra loot. You can also hit it between spawns if you've done a loop and you're out of spawns. You can head up that way and get some extra Telvar between the Scamp spawns. So this was the first room we were in, and now we're going to head up and take a right. This is the other part of the loop that I usually do. Now be mindful that the first room that you saw the Scamp Spawn in and all the way up through here, it is high traffic area. This is the EP route to the center of the sewers, so anybody who is looking for a battle or any EP will be up this way. So just be mindful, as you're killing mobs here, it is leaving a footprint for your enemies to track you. So you do always want to be careful and on the lookout for PvP just so that you don't get jumped unawares. So this room has a couple of chests that spawn, including a trap chest. So I always try to make sure to hit up this room when I'm doing my route. And up here is a portal. It's not super high Telvar, so I won't hit this every time if I'm short on time between spawns. I think it gives you about 400 Telvar, so it's not too bad. If you have extra time, it is worth hitting up. So heading up here on the left right there, there's usually a trap chest that can spawn, which is quite nice if you are looking for Sigils of Imperial Retreat, so you can go back to base for free to bank your stones if you have quite a lot and don't want to risk it like I do here. There's a chest that spawns on the left here and also a backpack. I try to show the backpacks as much as I can here. They are nice to grab, particularly if you're looking for recipes or the base motifs. It's either something for your characters to learn or something for you to sell. So it's nice to just add to the farm. Here we're going up to the second boss on the route that I do, called the Betrayer. I'm going to speed up through this guy because he is very easy. He does a flame line AoE through the room, but as long as you hug up close to him in melee range, it's not too much of a problem. He lays AoE on the ground and has a few adds that spawn, but as long as you're doing enough damage and enough self-healing, it's an easy burn. If you're soloing the banners in this route, you're going to have no problem with the bosses that are here. Now you'll see when I come through here, a banner actually spawns on my head. This is where they spawn underneath this bridge here, so be quite cautious when you're going through there. If you're not ready for a battle, they can catch you unawares and either kill you and take your stones or cause trouble for you. When I am battling the banner bosses, I do like to drag them into open spaces, particularly the melee banner bosses give me a hard time because when they enrage they hit quite hard. So having a space to kite is always the best way to deal with them, in my opinion. The second reason for bringing him down here is this is the second spawn for the Scamp. So if you do find yourself engaged, it's always good to take the battle back to where the Scamp spawns and try and watch for the Scamp and tab target him so that you can get him while you're engaged with other mobs or bosses. So here I'm just going to show you the path that the Scamp takes. He will walk over here and then up against the wall and spawn the portal to escape. Unfortunately, I kill him halfway through his pathway on this spawn, so I thought I would just show you that before he spawns. As I said before, if I know that the Scamp is about to spawn in a few seconds, I will lay down my AoEs on the ground so that there's as much damage taking as possible while he is spawned in the room. Like I said, in this case I'm not going to do that so that I can show you as much of his path as possible. So when he spawns, you'll see that he will spawn right in that doorway there and walk up towards where I'm standing and spawn the portal. It's really important to bash him there to interrupt him so that he doesn't disappear. He will walk back up towards the wall, spawn another portal, and I believe actually if you interrupt that, there is one more portal for that spawn. After I'm done the second spawn, I usually head up towards the north up through this route here just to catch any chest spawns and banners. It's not a big route, it's really only one room between the two spawns. It's a good fast route if you're trying to get to the next spawn as fast as possible, if you got caught up somewhere or AFK'd and watch YouTube or Netflix or something. So it's not a focus for profit, but it is another way that you can go to get between the two rooms. Here I'm just speeding up through the banner boss here. It's not very exciting or important to watch. So you can see there's a chest on the side there. That one spawns quite frequently. I believe it's the only chest in this room that spawns, but definitely someplace that you want to check out if you're only doing chests and not doing any of the bosses or banners. So now we're back in the first scamp that you saw. This room, there's a chest that spawns to the right up there, and across the way where we're about to go there's a backpack here, and there's a chest that spawns right up in this corner. So something to make note of when you're waiting for scamps to spawn, particularly if you're AFKing in a particular spot, make sure that you tap back frequently, say every 5 minutes or so, because the chests and the mobs do respawn quickly and that can help your Telvar count. Now we're quite lucky we get a trap chest spawn here, so I can show you what that looks like. It's a chest that you don't have to unlock and it spawns a little portal. I just lay down my AoEs and you can actually damage the mobs before they even appear. So it's pretty easy. If you're soloing bosses, you're going to have absolutely no problem with this. You just burn through 3 waves of ads and then you get your loot. Well guys, since we're back in the first spawn room that I showed you, that about sums up the loop that I do to farm the Scamp achievements and Telvar in the EP Imperial City Sewers solo. In the description box below, I'm going to leave a link to the Google Sheet that I used to track the spawn location and time of the Scamps when I was doing the achievement. I found it really helpful because it generated the next couple hours of spawns. It prevented me from missing any spawns while I AFK'd or got busy farming. So please check that out. It also has a map to help you locate the locations that I'm talking about in the video. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them below. I will do my best to answer questions. I'm not a super pro. This is just what I've learned in the couple weeks that I've spent getting the achievement. But as always, thank you guys for coming to watch, and I will see you again next time.